It's really funny to me. I wasn't even planning to say this, but I think it fits right in here. With all the cancel culture things happening, the thing that's really fits right into what we're talking about here is that most of it is because people don't want to accept that that is what it was then. Now, you may not like that that's being talked about today, but when you read books or watch movies or watch TV shows from a long time ago, there's a lot of what we would call today politically incorrect comments, behaviors, caricatures, whatever it is. But that's where they were then. And changing that, you don't learn the lessons from the time. You don't have anything that you can sit down with your children and explain. It doesn't make any sense to me. Not that we want to hold it up and say, we should be back like the way they were back then. No, but just it is what it is, okay? We're going to start taking down all of the forefathers of this country, not the Bible, but of the country, take them all down because they all were slave owners at some point. Well, almost everybody here was at that point. It's not saying it's good or bad. Obviously, it's awful. I'm just saying that was the time. Women didn't have a say. They didn't have a vote. That was the time. Times change. So what do we have to wipe out the history so we don't know that there was a time when these things were? Then how do you learn the lessons? Abba shows us all of the dumb things that people did for 4,000 years here. Okay, from Genesis to the end of the Gospels and then all of the journeys of the apostles, we got about 4,000 years. And so in that 4,000 years, cultures changed, mindsets changed, what was thought of as acceptable changed, and he had to come in and give them guidance and say, don't imitate what they're doing, etc. And so this is, when he's saying to us, look, therefore be compassionate as your Father's compassionate, not compassionate as your culture is compassionate or the way your family was compassionate or whatever context you grew up in. No, the way he does it. Separate and above from whatever worldly different pockets here and pockets there do things. Okay? Because we're not in the days, like if you're reading the Torah portions, we're not in the days when in Exodus 21, Yahweh's giving instruction on the right way to handle a slave. Today we'd be thinking, how could a slave be good on any level? But that was then, as far as those people in that world, in that culture, and whatever was going on. We're not then, we're now. I'm not saying things dispensationally, I'm just saying there has to be an understanding that we are dealing with a different world. If we went back there, most of us wouldn't have a slight idea how to live in that world, and neither would they if they came here. Okay? You could not figure out easily how to, some of you think, okay, I homestead or whatever. Most of you would not know what to do without electricity, without a refrigerator, without a stove, you wouldn't know, without a floor. What's your floor? The dirt, the ground, okay? All right? You would not know indoor plumbing, no plumbing. Forget about indoor plumbing, okay? No plumbing. I'm just saying, we would not know how to live in their world. We don't understand all of the issues of their world, where the world was when he started pulling them out. He's calling you out of this world now. He called them out of that world then. Different issues, different challenges, okay? Totally different context. Okay, the context of the world we live in. Look, even in the world we live in, our context here is not the same as maybe you go to another country. Even today, their context is completely different than it is here in the States. And so we have to look to a much more appropriate source for all of us, not our local context or other things, but him. Do things like he does them. That applies to everybody. And there's no debate over what he does. What you do here may be different what they do in Africa or Europe or in Asia or wherever, right? They could be very different. But he's the same. For them over there, for us over here, whatever it is, right?